So, hi chat, I'm Yash. Welcome to the first edition of this podcast thing that we don't even know how to name, so I'm just gonna say Esprost Pepole, and that's how it's gonna work. Joining me today are, in order from top left to bottom right, she is an e-girl with major cursing powers. We are yet to put her against very sweets, but I'm pretty sure she can at least tie. We do have Hannah.
Hi.
On the top right, he's fully Esprost certified and he is almost podcast trained, but I'm pretty sure he still does not know how to use the podcast thing. Anyway, Mamrika.
Hi, how are you doing?
I personally forgot that I need to do this joke for myself as well, but insert intro joke here. I am Josh here. And on the bottom right, we do have the only sane Fnatic fan that is remaining in this godforsaken world. Especially with the recent news, but we'll
Hello.
get further into it. His name is Kosterus. I'm pretty sure I'm
Ah,
pronouncing
that
this
is me. I am the person who you cannot see. Just call me Costa, that's fine.
So yeah, and today we are talking about MSI because we wanted to do this thing where we go through the 3 days that we had already. And yeah, the first day was kind of interesting on one hand, on the other hand it was very predictable, I'd say. In the first game, Damwon has won over Cloud9, which featured some display of what Yankas would like to call definitely not jungle div. And unfortunately, Kindred was not able to snowball and just got wrecked later into the game. Any opinions about the opener of the MSI?
I personally think that, of course, nobody expected Cloud9 to win against Damwon Kia, but I think they didn't look that bad in that game. I think, well, of course, there was a lot of individual difference, but especially from the bot lane of Cloud9, I think they held up pretty well.
Yeah, they didn't look bad in that game. They saved that for the later games. Yeah, I don't want to start talking already about the second game, but I think that Cloud9, what showed us in the first one, is like they are a decent team. They are, of course, not in the level of maybe China or Korea, but maybe in the second round, maybe they can surprise. They certainly don't look that bad as people are trying to say on Reddit.
It's actually so cool that we get to do this and just talk about things that are with the power of hindsight a little bit because we know what happens in days 2 and 3. But let's go back to day 1 where Infinity are feeling on top of the world after I'd say kind of stomping over DFM. It was a little bit
Mm,
shaky
I-
from Bagax,
yeah,
I think, but Cody getting a solo kill on Arya was actually very pog.
Yeah, I personally, as a Latin American fan, I think that it was like kind of a fluke in the sense that DFM had control of most of the game and then throw it in one or two team fights, and then Infinity did the good job of keeping the advantage they got after those fights and ending the game. I think that DFM looks, I mean, in power of hindsight, after seeing them the second day and third day, they are looking like much better than Infinity, I think.
Yeah, I think, especially because we have the power of hindsight here, the first game felt a bit off. Maybe DFM just needed some time to get warm, I think.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Yeah.
say that as well, especially since I didn't watch the first day, so.
Nice. Um,
Sorry for interrupting, Rika. Please go on, it's your team after all.
if it makes you feel better, Costa's next 2 games are Group A games, and they went kind of like you expected it to. Maybe,
Yeah,
well, one of them went exactly how everyone expected it to, in that RNG kind of stomped PGG. I actually quite liked the fact that they were not afraid to just try throwing stuff at the wall, and they were trying to force engages left, right, center, just try to do anything. But unfortunately, RNG too good.
and I think the same can be said then for the Unicorns of Love game because they just kind of steamrolled over PGG.
Unicorns of Love game felt actually a little bit different to me. It felt like two different approaches from PGG and... Oh, wait, never mind, that's the wrong UL game. Ah, never mind. So, yeah. Actually true. I'm sorry. I'm messing the days up. But yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Honestly, when sorry, I watched the highlights of the two PGG games, and I mean when I saw that, I thought like, shit, these guys are. I mean, they really suffer from their league getting cancelled, and all of their actually good players going to NA. But hey, with the power of hindsight, I guess we can actually say they're not that bad.
I
Maybe
mean,
they just had an off day.
let's be honest, the highlight of the first game between PGG and ERL was meme that Pablo has produced before the game. And
Oh yeah.
it's a very decent
Yeah,
meme,
at
so
least
I'd say the game went great.
at least they have that going for them. It's the 1v1 world semi-finalist Pabu, after all.
I actually have only one game after that, so that's going to be an issue. But yeah, I went out for food during the start of Wildcats versus Pain, and
Uh,
Pain went down 3-10. What happened?
I watched the game personally, and it was just, I think Wildcats kind of struggled with decision making and also actually like snowballing the lead that they had because especially their ADC Holy Phoenix looked really good. And then it kind of spiraled out of control and they were not really able to play out their lead. And then Pain Gaming just won, I guess. Maybe not everything is Pain.
It's actually quite.
yeah.
Sorry.
Well, okay. I think that like Wildcats had to win that game, but they went in a fight in the top part of the map, in the red side. No, in blue side, where they choked because Amira jumped into all of the team and BRTT exhausted her. So then there was like really no fight because all the damage was in Samira. She was like 7-1 or something like that. Like she was like solo queue mode Samira. And then the Pain did a free Baron, if I remember correctly, and just like won the game. It was like free after the Baron because they lost all the advantage they had on the Samira.
So
They didn't even need a real AD carry.
what I'm showing on screen right now is my live attempts of documenting the games, and I think this is all we need to say about this game. I
I just want to add one thing about this game with Pain against Wildcats. I mean, I wasn't able to watch that game as well, but I'm very happy for the Brazilian fans who tune in year after year, like in hundreds of thousands of those people tune in to watch their team get absolutely ass blasted by every other wild card in every international tournament, especially by Turkey, which they have some weird rivalry with
uh,
because they were like the only
as
wildcards that were actually
as
good
Emma
in
actually
season 4.
looked, I think Brazil are ahead in actual games. They are behind
They're
if you're
ahead?
counting matches, but they are slightly ahead in games. They're like 15-14 or something. It's actually insane.
Oh, that's the old glory. That's the 2015 and 2014.
But yes,
No, that's all
Yeah,
right. It's this game that gave them the advantage.
and
That's why it was
for
important.
the last game of the day, we have Mad Lions versus Talon, and I don't. And I forgot to take notes. Ah, help!
I watched it. And basically, I think what you can say, it was definitely Matt's best game. Carsey really stepped up on his Tristana. It was like really clean gameplay. Well, clean gameplay, but basically they got a massive advantage since PSG talent rated very unfortunately at a red buff. And then it kind of spiraled from there. So it was definitely Matt's cleanest game and also the most convincing one I'd say.
It was.
yeah, it was certainly an opening statement for Mad Lions. It kind of reminded me of the first game of Rogue at Worlds versus PSG, where they just steamrolled them. It was like the one of the most one-sided games I saw at Worlds. So I don't know. I think that PSG is going to certainly improve with time. They already, well, I don't want to get into in the following days, but they are certainly not a bad team. And Mad Lions were the better team, and they showed much growth comparing them from Worlds last year.
Well, you wanted to go into the second day, and I shall oblige you. We do have RNG having 2 games in Group A. Do we even want to talk about them, or
It's expected, I'd say. Well, RNG is the clear favorite, and they're not matched up against teams, I'd say, and as sad as it is to say, they're not matched up against teams that are even remotely on their level. So I think the interesting part of this group is to see PGG and Unicorns of Love go toe-to-toe every day, and tomorrow, like 2 times, I think.
I think so, yes.
Yeah, tomorrow they play against each other 2 times. And so, of course, RNG kind of steamrolled those games as well. I think it's expected that they'll go however many games they play in their group
I think
to 0.
I think I liked the approach that UOL tried to take in their game, where they just tried to avoid fighting and tried to out-soak, out-farm them somehow. Which I won't say it is successful in any way, shape, or form. God knows they got wrecked, but it was an interesting change from how we saw Pentanet approach it, and I actually quite like the change.
Yeah, that is something we very rarely see from wildcard regions in general. I mean, at least in international tournaments, when they usually try to beat the major regions just by, throwing everything at them and trying to beat them at the early game, and if it doesn't work, and sometimes even if it does work, they just lose in team fights and just get stomped in 25 minutes. That was an interesting game, but still, RNG are way, 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 way ahead of the opponents in this group. It will be interesting to see if Pentanet or UOL get through, though.
So, moving from the Group A stomps into a more close... actually, never mind, it's Infinity versus them one.
Well, as to be expected, Damn won. And I think it's also... They're just a better team.
Yeah,
There's
same
nothing
with
else to say.
Yeah, they're
Hot
just a
take.
better team. How could they lose? Come on, Infinity.
That is true. That is true. I hope Mamrika, that you weren't so disappointed to see your boys get wrecked by Dam One. I hope at least you weren't. Yeah, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, it was like kind of expected that there's always a little bit of hope, but it's downward. Like Borax is fine, but you're playing against Khan. Same with every matchup, and maybe there could be a chance. We saw. I'm not going to get into day 3, but we saw that now one is not an unbeatable team. They have some issues, and now that they are like almost qualified, maybe they are like something they can like get more. I don't know how to say it, but comfortable and do wrong stuff now. So I don't know. It certainly like was expected. Losing against them.
Okay, surely the next game is going to be closer, right? Right?
Um,
Actually, DFM Cloud9 seems very one-sided on paper.
Yeah, I
Well,
mean it's what the main
it kinda
region
was.
versus a wildcard should look like.
I have to say that I was fully expecting Cloud9 to win this, as were a lot of other people, basically everyone. However, and they almost won. I think Fudge really had like a standout performance. However, let's just say that some unfortunate things happened.
What do you mean unfortunate? You're not a jungler, you wouldn't understand.
I also think that both Vulcan and Perks kind of did not play up to their expected standard, especially against people like Arya. I kind of expected Perks to just be a lot better in the matchup against Arya, but I think Arya is like extremely good on Zoe, so maybe that's where it came from.
Yeah, Ari is a really, really good Zoe player. But
Yeah.
Blabber is a really, really aggressive man who
He's committed.
has no regard for human life whatsoever, including his own.
Especially his own.
That's the thing. If he missed 2 spears in that first fight that everybody remembers with the flash for the scuttle crab, if he doesn't miss one of those spears, he doesn't need to do the goddamn flash play.
It's for the style points.
It's not jungle diff.
Like,
Well, I
What do
guess
you mean
jungle
it's
is
jungle diff?
support
It's not
this.
jungle diff. It's never jungle diff. So, moving from a performance where Major Region is losing to the Wildcards, we do have Istanbul Wildcats versus Mad Lions, which I have actually missed the first 8 minutes, but they got a kill, and then we just started witnessing a game of basketball, and a lot
Yeah.
of free throws in there.
It's closer than you want it to be, but from what I've seen on Twitter, a lot of the pro players from EU actually tweeted that that's just what playing against Turkish teams, even in scrims, is like. And apparently, some of them also scrimmed against Istanbul Wildcats and have made similar experiences in getting absolutely stomped until you kind of just win.
Yeah, I
yeah,
feel
that is
like
true.
I feel
Sorry,
like
go ahead.
that compared to detonation, the Turkish teams are much more scrappy in fights than they they get messy, and while the Japanese teams have a more control style where if they can take the leads, they take it and they try to not go all in on the fight. So what Istanbul did, like exactly the same against Spain, was that they got moments where they could get a lead and maybe push harder, like when they got that inhibitor in mid lane after a bad play for Mad Lions. But then they just they get like they get out mechanically.
Mhm.
I don't know how to say. But
Outperformed.
yes, they get outperformed mechanically by their better opponents, and that's it. Their only way to beat teams like for measure reasons is to have a good sense of macro and just and and beat them at that, because you're not going to win straight 5v5s unless you have like a really good comp.
You know what I forgot to do? I forgot to change the stream name. Anyway, that does not matter much, because we end our day with another very close game, as Day 2 is particularly known for those. We do have Pain Gaming versus PSG Talon. And yeah, that happened.
Yeah.
Do we want to talk
Yeah.
about it?
I mean, I guess that's why people say that PSG is well a good team in scrims. Maybe we didn't see that exactly in the first day, but they stomped. It was just they reminded us of back when Taiwan was a major region.
I think they performed really well, and of course you could say it's only against Brazil, but as we will see on the third day, Brazil is not to be underestimated.
I mean, I think that Brazil is still like kind of like really bad. They got the first game like totally gifted to them, and they won because they took the game. They took the gift and they won. But they are showing that against real good teams like PSG and Mad Lions, they cannot handle them. And well, that's what it is. Brazil is in much major decadence from like 5 years ago, and yeah, I don't think it's going to stop anytime soon.
Yeah, Mad Lions really showed their worth against Pain.
Speaking of that,
It's all pain after all.
I have been busy today and did not watch the games. What happened?
Oh my god, Josh, you missed so much.
Just wait until we get to there. So the first game of the day was, of course, another RNG stomp.
Okay.
Then in the second game, Unicorns of Love. I'm not sure. I think they might just have been like a bit disappointed after the loss against RNG, because they kind of got really stomped. And so they lost to PGG.
Yeah, they really,
Raise
really,
your
really
goddamn koalas.
What? How?
Wait, I
Now
have.
they,
I watched day one. What happened?
Uh,
Hold up.
Raise your koalas.
I don't know,
Morgana
man.
Open?
I watched the Russian broadcast on that one, and the casters looked I mean, they sounded really, really depressed. It was just not even remotely close. I mean, it's just one game. It's beer one, and anything could happen. But yeah, this is not a good look. And I think getting like really, really diffed by RNG might not be good for their mental. I mean, I don't know. I
Being
guess
hard diff is not good for teams' mental. More news at 11.
yeah, I'm definitely like gonna be the next Fnatic coach after Yamato can gets fucking fired. But anyway, I don't know. I just thinking that like Pentanet came in here just not expecting anything. They probably came in here expecting to
I
get
mean,
destroyed
Pentanet
by
came here to
RNG.
shitpost and everyone knows that. How
Yeah,
did
and
they
they're doing
win?
that.
How? What?
So mid diff was a really big thing. I think here, what's his name? Chaps.
Chaz?
Goddamn, what's his name? Chaz.
Chaz.
He just had a really good performance, and so did the bot laner for PGG. He was like a really standout player today. He performed super good, probably above his normal limit, but international events do that. And so they just won. And I have never seen like a region so happy.
That's true.
Erase your koala.
We lost the fucking Pentanet.
No, I'm sorry, man. I mean,
Can we go
just,
next quick?
Yeah.
Wait,
I
I
just,
have to say
just wanted to
something.
fin-
I
Yeah,
don't
go ahead.
understand. I don't understand why teams keep picking Udyr against Morgana, or why are they keeping Morgana open if they don't plan on picking Rumble? Because it certainly doesn't work. It doesn't work. Morgana is too OP. Udyr is going like this really fast, but Morgana can do a Q, and then Udyr has to sidestep it. Maybe he can, but most times he doesn't, and he just gets stopped. And if he wants to land a stun, Morgana can just shield the person that is going to get stunned, and it's 80 damage, so there is no way from Udyr to break the shield.
For fuck's
So,
sake, they're not even a region. What? Ah!
Well, probably either like maybe
Next, quick.
next.
yeah, we got to have a host. We want to have
Help.
a host when we end. So
That host who's
So,
gonna stop us
in
talking
other
shit
news-
about his team.
In other news, Damwon Kia won.
Oh my god, that was a game.
However, that was the
Why is
saddest
there?
game.
What?
I
They
could
won, but they
possibly
lost.
imagine. Well, they almost lost to Detonation Focus Me because let's just say that Detonation Focus Me, they found the weak point of Damwon, which is Khan on the top side, and they abused him mercilessly. Abby had a very great performance in Urgot. He played extremely well. Really just showcased the champion on his greatest man. He played so well. I'm so sad that they lost.
Yeah, it was really, really, really sad because DFM really played well and they really wrecked Khan. Dude was like 0-5 at 15 minutes and they were really at a very big advantage, not so much gold wise because even at the biggest, they were like 8 towers up and stuff and they were bad. They got barons, they got everything, and Damwon actually made mistakes. Like they let DFM get sold, they let DFM get Baron, like for no contest at all. And then DFM just kind of griefed it and lost. That's basically what
Yeah.
happened. They lost the one game.
That one is like I got the same impression than Shi2 from a few years ago and SKT from more ago, where they can be losing like most of the game. They can give up dragons, they can give up barons, they can just not fight. But when the time comes, like they just keep farming, not getting like totally wrecked in gold. They also were lucky because the other soul was an air soul, so there it didn't serve is detonation that match. So they just in the last fight, like they were about to win the game. They were like in the bottom inhibitor, they a 5v5, and they got like completely destroyed by that one, and that one TP'd to the base and won. It was just like that. It was like the most stupid ending ever, and it was like so depressing because Detonation played the game like almost perfectly. They did everything right. They did. They focused on top. They smashed top. they made Showmaker like almost be invisible. He didn't do anything in the whole game until the last fight. Same with the bot lane. It was all heavy and it was all from Steel. He still had a really good game. And until they said, okay, now we can go all in. I don't know, we won the whole game, but no, they were wrong. They got completely demolished. And that was
Yeah.
really sad because if they had a bit more patience and just continue pushing, they had three lanes to push. They were probably going to win, and that's what makes me so sad, and everyone's so sad because it was like, oh no, they lost one fight and they lost the game. That was it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Arya played so well. The guy
Arya played
played
really
so
well.
well.
Imagine the
And
takes if DFM actually won, though. That would have been so
I
good.
know.
I can imagine one take. I can predict one take. You know how Showmaker said that it is his life's mission to beat Perks because G2 is not there and Perks is the only one remaining. So I can actually imagine him just going, my life's mission is to beat Arya. Arya is my mortal enemy and I have to stomp him next time in the next game.
Are they just gonna speedrun each other to airport? Showmaker and Perks?
Maybe.
Maybe
Well,
they do look like they're racing
Speaking
there.
about Perks, Infinity Cloud9. Did Infinity actually win?
no,
Yeah,
Cloud9
I mean-
won.
Yeah, that one. I don't know.
I said it before in the first day. I think that Cloud9 did a decent job against someone and a really bad job against Detonation, but I don't think that that was what really showing of what Cloud9 could do. While Infinity had a good game versus Detonation, but it was like Detonation focused me who throw the game, and then they had like an unexpected game against someone. So yeah, this third game again between Infinity and Cloud9 was what was expected. Cloud9 being just the better team at every stage of the game. So
There
yeah,
isn't much to say about it. It was just, well, Perks played really good this game. That's, I guess, notable, but other than that, it was just what you would expect from Infinity against Cloud9.
Okay, so...
That's what you would expect from a wildcard region against the major.
Yeah.
I just want to
So
say that
you all have lost.
Glaber still looks.
Infinity
Yeah.
have also lost. Can you at least tell me that my boy BRTT actually managed to play well?
Oh god!
Come on!
Oh man, that is the.
I
that
would
is
like
the.
you to.
it's a pain.
Go ahead. Go
Pain.
ahead.
So basically, imagine this, okay? There is one auto attack left on the Nexus of Mad Lions. The inhibitor respawns. Mad Lions Aces Pain Gaming and ends the game.
Come on!
You know, I'm a European fan. I'm a European fan, but I was so legitimately sad for the Brazilian team.
BRTT
Today was
cried.
just heartbreak.
BRTT cried.
You know
which
that-
was really, really
Pain.
sad.
I mean-
just pain.
Detonation focused me players also cried a lot after the game. It was like the most sad.
Yeah, it
day
was
of-
a horrible. Well, Mad Lions Kaiser said it in his interview afterwards with the German broadcast that they underestimated Brazil gravely. They played really well, and the reason why Mad Lions looked so shaky was because they played picks that they did not practice in scrims. Basically, as he said, he just said, Humanoid said, just pick me Kog'Maw and we'll try it.
That's some big UOL energy from Humanoid.
I hope Nick is watching.
Jeez.
Yeah, I hope Nick watched the fourth best mid in the world get fucking annihilated by the Australian mid. I hope he watched that. I hope he had a really nice time. Anyway, no, it was really sad. Like the thing I'm most sad about, because I think it would have been a really, really fun stat that Tin owns the mid for Pain game was actually the mid for Kaboom back in 2014 who kaboomed Lions.
Chinowns.
It would have just been an incredible stat that he managed to kaboom the 2 EU #1 seed into international tournament. I don't know. We're gonna see next week. I think it's actually gonna be pretty interesting how Pain performs, because this might. I don't know. Even though they lost at him, they think this might actually be decent for their mental, because they were able to fight against one of the strongest teams on the tournament.
Yeah, I think so too. Well, they really looked great. They played super well mechanically. BRTT really had a great performance, and in general, it was just a good game from them. And had the inhibitor not respawned, they would have won that. But as it stands, Mad Lions won in a more than shaky win. And, well, at least Carsey no longer has 0% win rate on Aphelios.
I'm regretting the decision to start this podcast because I'm sad. Yes. Speaking about EU first seeds, Wildcats, are they actually good?
Lost. Absolute stomp.
Yeah.
They well.
There's nothing more to say. They just got.
I like how we talked about Group A games for longer than for that game, but sure. And yeah, I think that's all of the games that have been played so far. And starting with tomorrow, we have a bunch of days where people just play each other a lot. Starting with Group A, who have 4 games per day.
Mm-hmm.
So, and we are starting with RNG playing you all, and you all are then playing Pentanet. Are they actually gonna tilt again?
I guess it depends on the fashion in which they lose. I think they can absolutely win against Penta. Again, even after an RNG loss. But if it's like a hard stomp like today, I think their mental might suffer. But of course, they have Sheepy as a coach, and hopefully he can help and motivate his players better than today. But I have to say, I would like to see Penta win again. I would like to. I guess it's a win-win situation, because either they win or Unicorns of Love win, and Penta might go out and maybe they'll let their substitute play.
The issue
they have a substitute?
Yeah, and it's a girl. Her name is DSN. She's a substitute support player.
Oh, wow. Well, I hope they don't. Go ahead.
So, imagine the case that Pentanet meets UFL tomorrow, and they are like the only wildcard team to go through. Does it mean that they get like the 2 spots BCS always have?
2 spots to the LCO, they aren't even a region.
Like the best MSI region that is wildcard gets 2 spots, and it was like always Vietnam.
That's not
now
happening
Vietnam
anymore.
Is gone.
Yeah.
I think only the winner of the entire thing gets an extra slot for Worlds. So
we'll see.
Yeah, unfortunately this promotion is no longer working. They knew.
Riot really hates you.
So yeah, now that I'm actually looking at it, you all are playing Pentanet both times after their game against RNG. And
the thing is that you are expected to make it out of this group, right? Penta has nothing to lose.
And the issues that I've seen so far is that Pentanet are very flippy in what they play. Pentanet really much like to play the current meta. They came here to shitpost, so might as well just pick whatever is popular. You don't need to go for champions that will be good later, because you don't care about that. You just need to do something here right now. You don't need to practice. You just throw shit against the wall and see what sticks. And so far, something has. And you all are currently doing some very safe drafts. I think their drafts are very much like what they play usually in the LCL in the regular season. I feel like they might have just not adapted to the changes to the patches at all, which is a bit of an issue, especially considering that Group A is in this weird position where you can't really prove your worth against other wildcard regions, because we don't have VCS, and you can only prove what you are worth yourselves. So you all can only prove that, yes, CIS is bad, CIS is good. They can also prove that CIS is bad, and they have just done it, apparently. But
no,
yeah,
I don't know. I don't think
they can't prove that they are the best wildcard region in this group, so which is a bit of an issue.
I think that
that's true. I don't think Ah, fucking hell. I'm sorry, I don't see you, man. I keep cutting you off because
No,
I
no,
don't
it's
see your
okay, okay.
face
No,
when
you
you're
do
starting
too.
to talk. Jesus. Uh, oh shit, it's me.
Yeah,
Anyway,
it's okay.
uh, so I don't know. I think you're. I don't know. I don't think I've ever seen a team look so defeated after a loss, like how I've seen you all look after they lost to Pentanet today. And I don't know. They are a team who went to Worlds, who went to international tournaments before. They are a serious team. They have expectations. They probably even expected to compete against RNG, and them just getting like wrecked so hard for 2 games already.
Lost to
I don't know.
fucking Oceania, god damn it.
Yeah,
Anyway,
I think it has a big impact. And I don't know. I don't think you all are going to do well tomorrow and the following days. I don't know. I may be wrong, but I don't know. Really does not
Yeah,
look good to me.
well, I really hope that they get to actually reset. If they don't, I get to say that yes, y'all is a bad team and we should have said Obama game in our crowd, which is Pog. Because
Should have sent Vega.
I mm, yes, but shouldn't have
Well,
stolen the whole roster from Vega in the first place. That said, we're not here to talk about Vega. We're here to talk about MSI. And I feel like we are already over time on this, so can we just move quickly to Group B, where Mad Lions are trying not to lose again?
no, it's good.
I guess the most obvious answer is Mad Lions are gonna make it through as first seed and then PSG Talon as second seed. But
Adventurous
we've
today, aren't we?
also I know, but also we've seen that upsets can happen. Upsets might happen, and who knows? Maybe PSG Talon is our first seed.
Well, yeah, I think that like the Mal is a whole step ahead of PSG, and that PSG is like 2 or 3 steps ahead of the other two teams, Pain and Istanbul. So I think that it's pretty cut clear that the teams that are going to qualify are MAD and PSG. Of course, upsets can happen. Maybe if Pain had a bit more damage, in the Nexus last game, they will be in a better position to challenge PSG for the second place. But yeah, I don't really think it's going to happen. The teams that are like really good perform better in the last days when they play a lot of games in the same day because they have better mental generally. So yeah, I think that it's easy. Mad Lions first and PSG second. Maybe there can be an upset in the first 2 places, but that's it.
Yeah, completely agree. The only thing that might kind of affect standings, well, aside from one of the teams completely choking, is the Mad Lions after they qualify for the next stage. They may not completely like give 100% in the remaining games, and I don't know. That might might gift a win to one of the wildcard teams. That might give us a tiebreaker or something. But I don't know. Don't think they will.
Yeah,
It is international after all.
Especially
theorem
considering
of did it
that
today.
you don't need. Sorry. That you don't differentiate between the first place and the second one. I'm actually gonna pose a money question to all of you. The question that Twitter will hate us for, no matter how we answer. Will Baguette Gaming win, or will it be the international wildcard cats?
I mean,
Brazil.
it's a 50-50 because both teams are like not really good. Who throws the worst is going to lose.
Who are Baguette Gaming?
BRTT Gaming.
Pain.
French bread.
Oh, oh wow, that is a pun on so many levels. Yeah, my brain is not developed enough to understand these next level puns. Um, yeah, I don't know. I think it's gonna be Istanbul. But I genuinely don't really know because they're both teams really like their clown fiestas, and yeah, it really might go either way.
And with
Genuinely don't know.
and with that, we can move on to the actually close group. where Cloud9, right, likes an A, obviously, so they give them the most time to reset. After what we can call a disastrous performance in the first week, well, the first 3 days of matches. Well, Demon are probably winning all of the games and maybe then some more as well. But how are we feeling? Are Cloud9 gonna move through, or will DFM actually make
I
history?
think yes, that was obviously. I think I don't know if they are already qualified, but they are like going to win at least 2 of the games. I think that Cloud9 has a real shot against Damwon because Damwon is almost locked, so they are not going to play as seriously as they could. And I feel like, well, Cloud9 is the only team that can realistically, in a way, go toe to toe with Damwon if they get a decent draft and stuff. And I think that what happens, Cloud9 has a higher hierarchy compared to the other teams, and they are going to certainly perform better in the last days compared to the other teams. So I think that Cloud9 is going to bounce back and be second place. And Infinity, I think they are going to be stumped.
Yeah, I think that, well, Cloud9 not going through would be disastrous for LA. Like, oh my god, if they don't go through, Jesus Christ. So I think that Cloud9 is going to do it mostly because we know that Perks' comfort zone is 1 and 2, right?
Yeah, that is a good point of view. Yeah, I think Perks really showed that he can carry the team when he needs to, even today, because he really, really, really did carry them against Infinity, while the rest of the team still looked kind of iffy, especially Blabber. But yeah, I mean, he did kind of grief it a couple of times, especially that one in top lane where he did the Krugs while Fudge was getting murdered.
Counterpoint.
Yeah.
Perks is just on a vacation to Europe.
Oh my god.
I mean,
It comes full circle.
It has come full circle. Let's face it, especially because he's reunited with Sven and Missy and Budget Missy.
See?
Well, so
it all comes together. The boys are going on a Euro trip.
Well, they could do that, but sadly we live in Corona time, so where would they even go? I think it's
the
better to
penis
just
museum.
stay in
I saw
Iceland.
pictures on Pavel's Twitter. The biggest collection of penises in Iceland, which is like 4.
Right, we can move on to the next one.
Let's move on to our next segment.
Wait, we have segments on this podcast?
We do have segments.
All right.
And none of them is talking about penises, so really.
Well, we can.
Maybe next.
It's the first episode, we can flex. So, next up we had what was a last second edition, but an edition that definitely made my MSI watching experience a lot more enjoyable. Because I was just able to meme people with it. So what we decided to do is, well, Costa, being a Fnatic fan, has offered this idea where we just go on Fnatic's Reddit and get dumb takes off of that. But eventually we got, we transformed it a bit and got to the whole Take of the Week competition, where currently we are gonna present the worst MSI take that we could have found, and the worst take wins. And we can't submit takes that we ourselves have made, obviously, because
that would be unfair cheating.
Oh, you should.
And we can't submit
so
Nick
ready.
because that's double cheating.
Wait, hold on.
Wait, okay, so wait, okay.
Shit, you all have Nick takes.
No, I don't. I have the best take of the week, and it's can I start?
Sure.
My take of the week is LS putting Gnar into C tier, because he obviously said Gnar, not good, do not pick it. Jesus Christ, don't pick it. But I personally think that he's wrong. Gnar has really shown up and really been clutch in a lot of MSI matches so far. I don't care about matchups, I just care about how it looks when it's been played. And as it stands right now, Gnar should not be in C tier, homie. Gnar has really shown up, has decided a lot of matches, and most Gnars have played really well. So yeah, that's my take of the week.
Yeah,
But which
my
half
issue
that
with
played Gnar?
Gnar has been actually played by a bunch of people. I don't know who, but he won.
I mean,
Yeah, I just
Nar was
can't remember.
decently picked. Yeah, my issue with LS and his tier list is that he's like too Shiga brain when he theorizes stuff. And he says like, okay, Nar is terrible, but what he doesn't acknowledge is that teams are good at what they practice. And they play Nar like the whole split long. Nar was like the best top laner in the whole split. So teams are going to keep playing Nar, like teams are still playing Udyr, teams try to play Hecarim, and the comfort of the team is because they didn't have much time to practice the new picks. So yeah, Knight is going to still perform even if maybe in a solo queue or maybe next split it's going to be a worse pick because teams are like used to playing with it and not really used to knowing how to counter it because that's why it was so dominant.
I'm
Same with Kaisa, like it's in the not pick, don't pick her here, Kaisa, and like she's been like totally fine, same level as last play maybe.
not gonna lie, the only massive Gnar play of this MSI that I remember is Silas still in Gnar, the ultimate, and just ulting 4 people into the wall.
That still counts as Gnar.
I guess.
No, that's why you shouldn't pick Gnar, because you don't want to have a Silas slamming
See?
your entire team into the wall.
Gnar is C tier, where C is for Silas. Wait, shit, he starts his S. Okay, no mind, next thing.
Next take.
Okay, but wait, Nar has the second highest pick and ban of MSI with 5 bans and 11 games with 7 wins and 4 losses.
That
So it has a decent win rate and a really high pick and ban rate.
that was the fanciest dab I've seen. Okay, Mamrika, hit us next. What's your take?
Okay, my take of the week is not related to MSI, but it's the whole Whippo going to Shanghai stuff that people are freaking out too much about it. Like saying, "Oh no, Whippo took control of Fnatic and he's holding the whole team hostage under gunpoint." So he's going to play every role until either it works out or Fnatic stops being a team. But I think that Whippo can certainly be a good player in the jungle. Like Fnatic had at least in this split the issue of when Reckless probably was not the main shot caller of the team. So he was like a good balance between like going all in and being defensive. And now that Reckless is gone, the voice of balance is gone, and they don't really have a real shot caller that can compromise between going all in and not going all in. And with Whip as a jungle, maybe he can be in like have more influence on the lanes and turn Fnatic into a super aggressive team. And maybe it works out, maybe it doesn't. But I think that it is better to go all in on aggressor than do half measures like not doing anything that Fnatic did last split. So I think that's why Whippo Jungle might work. It's a huge gamble because we don't know. Maybe Whippo is a terrible jungler and that's it. But in theory, it could work.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
I
fair.
don't know.
This is my Whippo manifesto.
No, I'm very happy to see someone being optimistic about that, because I don't fucking know what to think, honestly. I mean, the thing you said, to turn Fnatic into a more aggressive team, I don't know if that's even possible at this point. Like, if is it even possible to be more aggressive and not just like sprint from your nexus to the opposing nexus like 20 times in a row until you lose the game? And apparently, like according to Casual, Bwipo has
I've
that
seen
balls to
some
the
games
wall.
like that.
I mean, you can do coordinated
Wasn't
aggression.
great. I mean, Mad Lions are
Yeah, so
basically coordinated aggression. Are they consistent? Fuck no. They are inconsistent at best, but they are very good at what they do, and the coin lands
yeah, they're
often
on the
enough
same
for them,
page.
so enough to win the LEC apparently. So, do we want to do this clockwise, or do we want to do this in the reading order? Do I want to submit my take next, or?
Yeah, I guess just
Sure.
pull out your
Here.
goddamn take.
literally pulled it out, put it on screen. I had 5 takes ready, but one of them was
Oh,
a
Jesus.
choke crop. The other one of them is very trying to curse Medlines and winning them the game. The third one is a nickname take, so it doesn't count. So I just had to go with this one. On
We
screen,
do want to hear all of those, though.
on screen currently you can see a tweet by a certain Hannyway saying that Hearthstone is just a superior esports. I don't know what else I can say.
Okay. Listen, here's my reasoning. You know, I'm a big feminist. And I'm a big supporter. And oh my god, my Rika just left. That was such a bad take, I guess.
No,
And I
it
have to
wasn't.
say,
It's not you.
I have to say, personally, I'm a big feminist, right? Hearthstone has a lot of female pro players. Hearthstone doesn't just tell people when they're 22, oh, you're too old, you're never gonna make it on the big stage. Ooh, we need rookies every goddamn split. Ooh, and then we just sell them. Ooh.
Do you just keep saying uwu because it's funny or what?
No, I just
Why
say
not?
it because I'm really angry, and Hearthstone has women. That's why it's superior.
I mean, coming from the region with the biggest female representation by far, I can safely say you are correct.
Oh god. Oh god, yeah. We
You
did not.
know, the thing with Hearthstone is that the women aren't an afterthought, and they actually like are pro players and don't get like disincluded on purpose. So
I'm ready to sacrifice
Yeah.
my place on screen just to keep the takes there.
Yeah, I'm going to side with Hannah on this one because in like compared to other esports that are team based, Hearthstone is like just the player only, and so it doesn't matter whether you are a boy or a woman. Whereas on like for example in a League of Legends team, where they all live in a gaming house, gaming houses like have this kind of bro culture, like same like that happened at Riot Games a few years ago. Remember the whole drama at Kotaku? It was like the paper that reported it. So I think that sometimes the people that play sports are too immature to like live with a woman in on the gaming houses, and it isn't like saying something is good or bad about the women. It's just that it doesn't work, sadly.
I guess. Yeah. Well,
okay.
I had
Well
to
done.
try, right? That said,
Huh.
Costa, you seem to be the last one.
Right. I'm actually
Oh boy.
really proud of my take because you know how I said that we're supposed to dive deep into the Fnatic subreddit and like dig.
He
Well, you
actually
don't
went
really
on
have to
Reddit. Oh
dig deep
no.
to find
Oh no.
the shit takes on the Fnatic sub. This is not from the Fnatic sub.
He's
This is
tryharding.
actually from the.
He's going
This
on
is actually
Reddit.
from TSM sub.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Guys, he's tryharding. He's going pro in take finding. What?
I took this very seriously, and I really, really delved deep into this thing just to find the ultimate black pearl of bad takes. And I think I did. Because here is a guy from the TSM subreddit explaining why NA is bad at MSI. So, Mr. Tate from Team Solo Mid says, has anyone thought that NA is worse because we, don't have a cohesive culture? Just think about the demographics of America and the vastness of culture you could find from east to west coast. On top of that, NA has so many imports. How could that affect team cohesion? Just a thought.
All right, you win.
Is there any region that has a less like a more cohesive culture than NA? Like probably
Korea.
LJL.
Like Korea and
Korea
China
is
maybe.
literally a
Korea.
homogeneous country.
Yeah,
Especially
Like
the
EU
I was
north
is
just
one.
thinking about other wildcards. I'm sorry, but
Well,
EU is
Oceania
like the
has
counter
only
example. That's it.
Oceania has only Oceanians left, like Australians, because every import just ran to NA.
yeah,
Like
I
EU
guess
has
you
been
win.
like playing much better than NA for the last 4 years, and they have like the most like diverse culture, because they are literally different countries. Like when you cannot compare the culture of Portugal and Spain with Serbia and England, so they're like totally different things, and they mash up well because I don't, for any reason, it's not because of cultural cohesion.
What do you mean? Serbia is basically UK. Come on.
Literally
I
the
wish,
same.
mate. Yeah, I mean, Serbia is basically UK because we're both out of EU. We both want to get back in. But anyway, um, yeah, the culture diff is too strong between NA and other regions.
I think I'm speaking for everyone when I say Costa wins best take of the
Yep.
week, because oh my god, that's
Yeah.
fucking funny.
That is a take. Out of all the takes, that is one of them. For certain. Congratulations.
Thank you very much, I am. Do I get a trophy? I get like a shitty
At
drawn
the at
fake
the end
medal.
of season 1, which I guess if we keep doing this, the end of season 1
Wait,
is
we're gonna
half the
keep doing
world.
this? There are gonna be more of
Yeah, we're gonna.
What?
Yeah, there's gonna be a season each
Okay.
split, each a year. So this is season
Guys, I
1,
haven't signed
episode
up for
1.
this.
Too bad.
Can we overthrow her?
Yeah, you don't have to host every single one. I think it would be very funny if we all just switched, you know?
Find another
Like,
unknown streamer.
What?
What?
Hmm?
Anyway,
No, just, you know,
so
Well, now for the I guess last segment, which is
roster
rumors.
changes. Do we
Yeah,
have enough time
rumors,
for
rough
that?
rumors.
Mumrika, I think you are the one who's the most time pressed.
I have time. I certainly have
Okay,
time. Like,
let's go about rumors. I have not read any of them. So,
well, give me a second. I'm going to go to Wikipedia, search the rumor pages.
wait, Josh, did
Oh,
you just get like fucking mind blown when we mentioned Whippo Jungle and you were just like, what the fuck is going on? If you
well,
haven't read any rumor.
I know that Bwipo is. I've listened to the recent Euphoria. I'm actually quite happy. Daniel Drakus, by the way, is so far the only caster to say Ananasic right. Which, congratulations, great work. Everyone else of you, what
Shout
the
out to
fuck
Daniel
are you
Draco.
doing? How can you can't just stress it correctly? It's Ananasic, not Ananasic. Ah! Oh, sorry. Rumors, right? So I know that
I sent you the link.
Bwipo
In,
is not going to be playing top for Fnatic or something, and people are molding about it.
apparently they paid a lot of goddamn money for Adam. 240k is the number that Vulu tweeted in both like hexadecimal code and like
yeah,
Morse
it's
code.
250k.
I mean,
250k
okay.
for it.
I guess
Or
that
240.
I
250
guess
or 240.
It's 240.
Yeah.
I guess that is an EU Masters champion, but I also remember him getting top diffed by Clowny.
He got top diff by Aroma 4 games in a row, but I'm not allowed to say that.
And
well,
there's our take of the
It's-
week.
Orome actually did really well. Aside from that first
Yeah.
game, we got absolutely brutalized by Yoppa, but he actually did well in the tournament. But yeah, I don't know, Josh. Have you heard that they're selling self-made to Vitality?
Together with Leader, my man.
Yeah, together.
But
The
they don't.
leader
But
apologist.
they don't even have a leader to sell in the first place. What? Isn't he playing for like Mouse?
No.
Yes. Yeah, the
Like
leader
Fnatic
is going
is selling Leader to Fnatic is selling
no.
Selfmade to Vitality, and Mouse is selling Leader to Vitality, and also Big is selling SLT to Vitality, and also Tokoya is going to Vitality. So everyone's just going to Vitality this offseason.
So it's like a much shitter version of the Vitality super team that was hyped last year. So like you go from Alfari to SLT, you go from alright, self-made is a really good shout, but he did perform pretty badly last year. He's still a very good jungler. Going from perks to leader, that is a kind of a big drop off. And you have Crown Shot, then you have Labrov, who are decent, I guess. Yeah, that's about it.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
think
know.
that Leader leaving Mouse after like being the one that handpicked the team from scratch after everyone left is like big comedy to me. Like, okay, I want to play with these players. Please bring me Gatshot from Russia. Please get me Sartorius stuff, and then okay, I'm out. I don't want to play anymore here.
The problem with leader leaving is, well, this is just Prime League talk now because I'm a big Prime League enjoyer. But the problem with leader leaving is that he's the resident together with Sartorius, which means that Mouse is basically locked in a position where they need to get another German or
MV carry.
German residency mid, which could either be MV carry or I guess
Just wanted to say that.
Zaze. Or I guess Zaze. It's also an opportunity or like eligible, but we don't know. And
I mean, they're going to have some money now that they. I think that they sold Leader because he had a contract.
No,
with
but
Mouse,
Fnatic
so they
sold Leader.
they would honestly.
Just as I
If
sold
they could,
Promise
they
Q to
would.
Fnatic. Actually, no. Where is he going? Because I heard
He's
something
still
about
in
Astralis,
Astralis.
Astralis support or something. No?
Yeah, that was the whole issue with Promise Q being basically very toxic. But he's still with the team. He went with them to both the Danish jungle and to the speedboat racing that they did in off season.
Oh, right.
So I guess he's just staying there.
I wanted to make
Yeah,
this into a
what-
segment, but I couldn't find enough info about what the taxman is doing. Oh well.
Imagine contract prisoning Promiscu out of all people.
Yeah, I mean, I think that Promiscu going to this camp is not like really telling because maybe they are still looking for a new support, and but they don't have one. They have to keep Promiscu on the team and on their team activities because I don't know. Maybe he, in the end of the day, he is going to play because they cannot find a new support. But there is still a lot of off season yet to go through.
Promiscuous contract actually features going to those themes in the off season just to make sure that no one knows that he's been signed off. Honestly, if Astralis are contract prisoning Promiscu, I think that everyone else in LEC should be very happy about that and should be praying to Astralis because they're doing the god's work of containing that man.
I think the problem is not contract prisoning him. The problem is that he has a 3 years contract.
Yeah, it's like the other way around. Promiscu is contract prisoning Astralis.
Oh
Yeah. Because Astralis is actually like one of the teams that addresses openly that their players are extremely toxic in solo queue. See Promise Q's situation now. However, there is nothing they can do. I don't think they have the money to like just kick Promise Q when he has 2.5 years left of his contract.
Yeah, I guess they just wanted to make like to surpass BRTT and just give Promiscu the chance to become the oldest player in the world.
I think that maybe they were hoping that they could sell Promiscu because prior to the split, he had insane branding.
Don't they have like insane contract length on YouTube
Yeah,
too?
Yeah, but Nuke left on his own volition.
Wait, they can't
Yeah,
do
when
that?
everyone forgot how.
I mean, it's mutual agreement. If a team wants you out and you want out as well, then yeah, why not?
Fair.
Yeah. I like how Promiscu suddenly got insane branding when everyone forgot how bad he was as a player.
Yeah.
Actually, if Nuke is out, where does he go now?
Excel.
But maybe as a coach.
I don't think so. I honestly think Excel just lost it and signed him as a mid laner.
I'm holding to a bit of hope that
because it wouldn't be the first time that they tried to build up a player insanely and then just drop him after one split. Because I'm not letting them forget that they released a 28 documentary on Yesla and dropped him the next week.
So what you're saying is that Astralis should sell Yeskla to Excel and then pick up Gadget. Agreed. So
Astralis should send Jeskla to Excel just so Excel can bench him and just bring like dig some big wool like that.
Bring back Yarnan.
Where is he even nowadays?
He's in Gamer Legion in the German league.
Oh god.
Yeah, one of the more likable teams in ERL.
Sure.
Are they? I don't know.
Yeah, they were fun. like the only team worth cheering for in the whole of Germany.
Man,
I don't
Germany
know.
is doing
Hannah, you
great.
look like you have something to say about this point.
I personally really enjoyed Mao's last split, to nobody's surprise. And I quite like Big right now. I think they are a very fun team to watch.
What is she
Their
talking
80
about?
carry their 80 carry only knows going forward. And I think it's really, really sad that SLT is already leaving the team to go back to the rumors and going to Vitality allegedly. Just because I think he was really fun to be around. Or really fun to watch and have him in the team, if that makes sense.
Big do have a trend of good top laners, like with White Knight and now SLT going to LEC apparently.
They
That's pretty
also
nice.
they also produce players like Labrov, Sazi, and Karzi.
Zazie.
Yeah. Oh my god, Zazie. I feel like crying every
Makes us-
time he's named.
No, crying
al-
is on RNG and is about to win 4 games tomorrow.
Shut the fuck up.
Full circle!
Full circle, baby. I think those are all the rumors that came for this week. But I guess we will also get updates during this week, so
eye
we
out
can
for
talk about
that.
them next week.
Yeah.
So
And
I
anyway,
think that's about it.
Wait, I want to give an advice to Astralis. If you are watching, Mr. Astralis, do this. If Promiscue is contract prisoning you, please make his life impossible. Break him mentally so he can live on his own accord. Like
did
if he wants to leave, then
That's
let him go.
illegal.
did you just advise
But
one of the LEC fucking orgs to bully one of their players just because they signed a 3-year contract with him? What the
I mean,
fuck?
yeah, advice to Astral is just abuse one of your employees until he leaves. That is a very good idea.
I mean, if Whippo, that is the Lord of Fanatic, we all know that can bully self-made to go to Vitality, then why cannot, I don't know, maybe not Astralis as an org, but maybe Shekla is a friend of him, but maybe Magic Felix, he can
Maggie
put
Felix
stuff
is
on
a
his
friend
food.
of Jeskla.
Oh no, it's so connected.
Yeah, I think our hopes that
Sarah?
Astralis will sponsor this podcast are fucking gone.
I'm sorry.
And that's one more sponsor that we could have gotten but we'll never have now. So, speaking of, I believe that's it for the actual talking portion, so let's just... If anyone has anything to shout out right now, please do so.
So Astralis, if you want to sponsor us, please call us.
Just shout out to LEC Wulu and Bloop and whoever else reports all the rumors, because I think it's
Esprost
really nice to
Pepole.
talk about that. And I know that a lot of people get stressed, but personally for me, I for one thrive on the chaos. And for the other thing, I like to get informed about what's happening in the off season, because otherwise it's just very boring for esports fans when nothing's happening.
I'm just gonna shout out my Twitch channel because because I'm the one hosting and you can't do anything with that. Yeah, please sub. I stream HOTS, which is not League, which is why you're not gonna be interested. Please give money. And yeah, so
Shout out to Daniel Drakos, who's the only caster to correctly pronounce Ananasiuk. And yeah, shout out to the company on Hannah's water bottle, who is definitely going to sponsor us because she showed the. Put it to the camera once more. Yes, that is the. I can't.
closer, we can't.
Frankenbrunnen Spritzig Hochstein.
Bless you.
Hochsteinquelle.
Really looks like a commercial. Anyway, that's it for me.
So yeah, with me today I had Costa.
Goodbye. Do I say hello? I don't know. I've never done.
I had
Hello.
Mamrika.
But hello and bye, I guess.
I had Hannah. Good night out there. Have fun. It is mandatory after all.